Hello everybody, welcome back to the 3D Critic channel. I'm David, your host, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10 traction setups that I have tried so far this year. And when it comes to the traction, normally I look for the really good performance when it comes to lateral and vertical movements on a clean court, as well as on a dusty court. And I also factor in the durability of the outsole itself to see if it's good for you outdoors as well. So all of that will be factored when it comes to this list. And if you guys are interested in any of the shoes that I mentioned on this list, I will leave a link in the description box below if possible. Now coming in at number 10, I have the Nike Zoom Freak 5s, which features a full-length rubber outsole with a multi-directional traction pattern on the forefoot inspired by Giannis's logo. And on the back half of the outsole, you're going to have a herringbone traction pattern. That is a smear traction, which is very similar to the GT Cut 2's traction setup. And the overall performance is really good on a clean court. Lateral and vertical movements are pretty good overall. On the dusty court, they do slide a little bit, but with a quick wipe, you are good to go. And when it came to the overall durability, it holds up pretty well when it comes to the main sections of the traction. There is some slight wear when it comes to the high wear areas of the shoe. And the rubber itself is a little soft, so you should be good to go on these outdoors as well. Now coming in at number 9, I have the Nike Jaw Lunge, which features basically a traditional multi-directional traction pattern that just goes all over the place. And when it came to the overall performance on the clean court, it was actually really good. Also with vertical movements, you were able to be really quick right off the gate with these, and lateral movements as well, you were pretty good in them overall. And when it came to a dusty setting, it didn't really bother it that much overall, but it does collect some dust a little bit, and you will have to clean it down every now and then. And the overall durability is pretty good as well. The pair that I had XDR rubber, which is extra durable overall, so it was pretty good overall indoors, and outdoors you should be good to go in it as well. Coming into number 8, I have the Way of Wade 808-3 Ultras, which basically has a tough rubber outsole overall with this wavy traction pattern, and it tightens up in the middle of the forefoot section. And the grip overall was really nice on a clean court with lateral and vertical movements. It pretty much was really grippy and really tacky on the floor. When it came to a dusty setting, the vertical movements were good. However, when it came to lateral movements, I was sliding a little bit when it came to that. And when it came to the overall durability, it is holding up pretty well considering that it is a tough OS rubber, which is mainly geared towards outdoor use. But there were some signs of fraying when it came to the high wear areas. So overall, it's pretty good to go when it comes to outdoor play as well. And it was overall a really good traction setup overall. Now coming in at number 7, I have the Luka 1, which basically features a multi-directional traction pattern that looks like a bunch of grid lines that sort of make up like a maze format. And it is overall pretty good when it came to lateral and vertical movements as well. I found it to be really grippy when it came to the vertical movements, like going from side to side was really nice, and as well as the vertical movements when it came to hard stops. And the overall dusty condition that it was in, it did slide a little bit and it does collect a little bit of dust, but with a quick wipe and I was good to go afterwards. And when it comes to the overall durability, it holds up. However, the rubber itself is really thin, so there is a slight chance that it might wear off a little bit once you are going to play in these outdoors. But I didn't experience any wear overall, so you should be good to go in these outdoors as well. Now coming in at number 6, I have the New Balance 2-Way V4s, which features a dual traction setup with a herringbone traction pattern combined with a hexagonal radial traction pattern right next to each other, and it crosses into the heel section. And it is really good and really grippy right off the gates. With lateral movements, it was really shifty going from side to side, and vertical movements like hard stops and getting a quick first step was really good as well. And when it came to dust, it didn't really bother it that much. But it does collect a little bit of dust, but with a quick wipe, you're pretty much all set, and it rarely collects dust overall. And when it comes to the overall durability, the grooves on the rubber itself is really nice and thick, and I didn't experience any wear when it came to that. So for outdoor use, you will be good to go as well. Now cracking into the top 5, I have the Puma All Pro Nitros at number 5, which features a full-length translucent outsole with this grid checkered pattern in the forefoot, and the transitions to like a diamond pattern in the heel. And the grip on these were insane right out of the gate when I was playing in these. Like, vertical movements were really grippy going from side to side, and vertical movements as well. The stops as well as the takeoff were really nice and quick in these. When it came to dust, it didn't really collect dust at all when it came to these. And when it comes to the durability, I didn't experience that much wear when it came to it. With some graining in the high wear areas, I did experience a little bit. And the overall rubber itself is a little soft in my opinion, so there are some slight worries when it comes to the overall will where you take it outdoors. But I didn't experience that much indoors, so you should be good to go indoors as well as outdoors. Coming in at number 4, I have the LeBron 20s, which is basically a full-length rubber outsole with a storytelling multi-directional traction pattern that was pretty much going everywhere all at the same time. And at first, you initially have to warm it up a little bit because it does slide on you a little bit. But once you do, like, the more you play in it, it was really grippy and really tacky on the floor. Side to side movements were really good, and the vertical movements as well when it came to the stops. And like getting a really quick first step was really nice in this, and it was really effortless trying to move around in this shoe. And when it came to the dust, it does collect some dust, but it doesn't like really bother the traction pattern overall. But make sure you don't collect too much dust, and you clean it every now and then. That way you can get the best out of it. And the durability, the rubber itself was really thick when it comes to the overall like thickness of the rubber, but it is on the soft side, so be wary of that. I experienced some wear when it came to like the high wear areas on the medial side of the shoe, but the main sections of the traction itself was holding up pretty well indoors, so you should be good to go outdoors in these as well. Now, coming in at number 3, and it was really surprising for me to put this shoe really high up in the list, and that was the Way of Wade 808 3s, the regular version, which features a less aggressive wavy pattern compared to the Ultra shoe, and it was insanely grippy going from side to side and with vertical movements as well. And the performance on dust was pretty much non-existent. It didn't bother with dust at all, and it maintained the same grip when you were on a clean court as well. And it was really crazy going from side to side and going up and down the court. It was really easy to get grip on these, and it was really nice to play in as well. And when it came to the durability, it didn't like wear off on me at all. I was really surprised at how durable the outsole is as well, and the grooves of the traction pattern itself is really thin, so I'm really surprised that it was really able to hold up pretty well while I was playing in these, and I took it through its paces overall. So it was a pretty good shoe when it came to the traction and the durability as well. You're going to be good to go in these outdoors as well. Now, coming in at number 2, I have the Way of Wade 10 Low. And the grip on this was really crazy overall when it came to lateral movements going from side to side. I was really quick in these overall, and the vertical movements as well was really good. The overall traction pattern was like a wavy, ripply effect in the forefoot, while it was like a radial pattern in the heel, and it provided me really good grip, like universal grip overall when it came to lateral movements, vertical movements, and the overall durability was really surprising as well, considering that it is a really thin outsole overall, and it lasted me like a really good bit overall when I had them, and it was really grippy, and it really didn't bother at all when it came to a dusty setting. It gripped really well overall, and the overall durability was really nice when it came to the overall wear. So you're going to be good to go in these outdoors as well with the tough OS rubber outsole that they come with. So you're going to be good to go in these outdoors, and indoors you're going to be really, really good overall. Now, before I go into my number 1 traction, I do have a few honorable mentions that just missed out on this list. Starting off with the Curry 10s, the flow outsole that you have. It was ridiculously grippy, like there was too much grip. And with a dusty setting, it was holding up pretty well. Just make sure you don't collect too much dust and you wipe it down like frequently every now and then. And the durability wasn't that great because it is a flow outsole. When I was playing in these indoors, the overall traction pattern that I had underneath it was like deteriorating like crazy. So be mindful when you are wearing these indoors, because you will wear down the rubber, well, not rubber, foam that you're gonna have under your foot. And outdoors, I would avoid these at all costs, because it's just gonna melt away the traction pattern that you're gonna have underneath, and it won't be good for you for a while. So that's why I left it out on my top 10. But the initial grip that you're getting is absolutely insane, laterally and vertically. But the overall durability weighed it down, as well as the performance that you are going to get in a dusty setting. I also have the MB.03s from Puma, which was really good and overall really grippy when it came from side-to-side movements as well as vertical. When it came to a dusty setting, it does perform pretty well. However, the dust does stick to the traction pattern overall, and you do have to wipe it down a little rigorously overall. Durability was pretty nice overall. However, the rubber itself is a little soft, so I will be mindful to playing these outdoors as well. And I also have the Fresh Foam BBs from New Balance, which was really grippy as well, going from side to side with the rubber outsole that you have, and the radial pods that you have all around the outsole were really grippy going from side to side, as well as with the vertical movements with the hard stops and the really quick first steps that you're going to get as well. I was really active with these overall. And when it came to a dusty setting, however, you are going to get really good grip. However, you will slide a little bit when it does collect some dust, and you will have to frequently wipe it down after a handful of plays that you were playing it. And the overall durability is pretty good overall. The grooves of the rubber are really thick, and you will last in these outdoors as well. So those are like a few reasons that I left them out, with the Fresh Foam BBs sliding a little bit when it came to a dusty setting. Pumas, the durability is a little on the sketchy side in my opinion, and dust does stick to it in a dusty setting overall. And the Curry 10s, you have initial grip, but the foam itself with the traction pattern, it will deteriorate over time indoors, and outdoors you'll just melt away completely. Now, coming in at the #1 best traction setup that you can get right now, it is the Way of Wade's Son of Flash with the Tough OS rubber outsole that you'll have, with a very aggressive herringbone traction pattern with a lightning bolt, with accompanied smaller lightning bolts in the middle of the traction pattern itself. And this was by far the grippiest shoe that I've tried so far. When it came to the lateral movements, I found it to be too much, to the point where I had to stop myself from like moving any further, and all of my weight just transferred. Like I felt like I was toppled over and like hit by a car or something like that, which was absolutely crazy when I initially had it. And vertical movements as well were really nice overall. The takeoff on your first step as well as the hard stops were close to perfection in my opinion, and it was really nice overall. And when it came to a dusty setting, it does pick up some dust. However, you will maintain really good grip out of that, and it was I'm like speechless when it came to the overall performance in this. And when it came to the durability, because it is a Tough OS rubber and the grooves on the outsole itself are pretty thick overall, so you're going to last a while in these when it comes to outdoor use, and you're going to get really good grip indoors and outdoors. And by far, this was the most aggressive traction setup that I have tried so far, and it is the best traction setup that I have had so far this year. Thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Comment down below on what you think of my top 10, if it was a pretty accurate description of the best traction setups so far this year. And leave a comment down below as well on what is the best traction setup in your opinion overall. Whatever you have tried, feel free to comment down below. And if you have any other questions, feel free to comment down below as well. And if you'd like to stay tuned to the other top 10 videos that I'll be posting, as well as the cushion, the overall materials, fit, lockdown and support, I will be doing top 10 videos as well. So if you'd like to stay tuned to that, hit the subscribe button down below, and it'll greatly support the channel as well. And if you'd like to stay in touch with me via social media, I will leave all of that information in the description box below, as well as all the links that I'll try to get on all the shoes that were mentioned on this list as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your day. I hope this was beneficial to you guys on choosing the overall best traction setup that is right for you overall. And until next time, keep shooting.